Right guys, Billy here, welcome back to the channel. Now I've got something a little bit different from you. I got sent in some router bits from a company called Roundover Malls. Don't know the quality of them, never heard of them. They just emailed me and they said, can you try out some of our router bits and let your followers and subscribers know how they are? So I said, yeah. These were sent out free of charge to me, so full disclosure there. You'll get an honest opinion off me, as you always do. I'm just going to run you through what they sent me out, and I'm going to make a storage case. Well, it's not. I'm not going to make it. It's a case I've already got made. I had made for something else, but I'm going to retrofit it for use for all these router bits, because I've got some other router bits as well, and they're everywhere, and they're scattered, and Forstner bits and drill bits and all that kind of stuff. So let me run you through these router bits. Right, so as you can see there, I've got a selection of half-inch router bits. Them three come on their own, and these were in cases. Got straight bits, got pattern bits, dovetail bits, trim bits. You got slotting bits there, a Cove bit, flush trim, Roundover, and then I've got a selection of 1/4 inch. Now I've got a couple of 1/4 inch trimmers, and luckily you'll see on other videos I kept a Hitachi half-inch router, so I'm going to use them on there. So let me go and get the item I'm going to use to retrofit these into. So I'll just start stripping it out, get it down. Hopefully some of these that I've glued on will come out sort of nice and easy. I've caused a little bit of damage here, but what I'm going to do is pop some glue in there and just pin it from underneath, glue it, plug it, whatever I need to do to it just to make it workable. Just drop a bit of glue into that joint and I'll leave that. Oh, it's freezing. Just to hold that joint together while it glues. Just a quick tip while I'm on. You know, you get all these fancy glue bottles that cost you 15, 20, 25 pound, and they always stick. You lose the ends, they clog up. Just get yourself some sauce bottles, condiment bottles. You get a pack of 6 for less than 10 quid. That's my first one. I've still got it sort of a year after. And just give it, every time you use it, simply just clean it and pop the top back on. So I'm just screwing a screw into where that sort of split off. I know this sounds absolutely crazy, but I'm going to go down the old box and put just a screw into each corner. It's now shop furniture, this. It's not like a thing to be sort of looked at. So I'm happy to do this. 180 centimetres, and that's 40 centimetres. 400 mil, 180 mil. Check the other one. That one's a bit wider. Nothing's perfect when it's handmade, is it? This is why practice makes perfect, guys. So what I'm going to do for now is just chop up these little bits of scrap to sort of them dimensions. You can see I've used them for various bits and pieces, but it's a shop build, like I said, so let's use some of this up. So I'm just marking off 180 mil here. I like these rulers. My daughter got me this for Christmas. See if that 400 fits. It's a nice little fit. So what my plan is now with these ones here is rip them down half, so I've got 6 that's sitting there. So I'm just trying to get the big bits of glue off. Right, so the depth of these is 65 mil. What a difference that little outfeed support bit there makes on this table. This table, I'm not kidding, is excellent. The Evolution R255 TBLX. I mean, this comes with a stand. I haven't got it on its stand, but that is a superb bit of kit, let me tell you. See if it fits in here. Lovely. And that, my friends, looks a little bit better. Just put a fresh piece of 3mm board on the back there, just to hide that mess that was inside it. Right, now I'm just going to cut some plugs for them holes. I didn't have to do it, but it's something I'm going to do because I want to do it. You know, this woodworking journey, it's all about raising my standards, and this is one of the little things I can raise the standards with. And what I'll use should do, so I need 12 of these, but I'll cut about 14. I can't just leave it like that. I've got to do that with it. I've got to, it's just me, I've just got to do it. All that was to do was just to reinforce them miters with a screw. I did put splines in, but it was more of a decorative cabinet this when I made it. All this will get re-sanded off, and I'll sand the front and stuff like that. Right, so I'm simply just whapping a bit of glue on the back there. As you can see, I'm using this different glue today. Not used it, so it's the Gorilla Glue. Right, so the plier cut, I'm just going to look for the best side, which that'll sand off. It's a little bit of glue residue. Just simply drop that in there. Best side. Who likes me singing? That's the best side. It's got a mark on it, but it's the best side. But let me contrast it up with when I put the Danish oil in. Just sort of push that down on top, and I'll put some weight on that and leave it for a good few hours because I've got more jobs to do. Right, so I'm just marking out for my router bits now, and I'll just work away along. I just need to make sure I've got clearance at the back, and I'm actually using the router bit, not the router bit, the fastener bit. Right, all them holes there look all wonky. That's done on purpose for the diameter, so you know, in the back of the cabinet, because the diameter, the offset, someone's probably a bit wrong, but anyway, you get the sort of drift. So remember, if you're making this to offset the back in the cabinet, and that's how I want them to sit in the cabinet, so I can see exactly what they are, and I'll probably mark each one here with a number. So one thing quick job I'm going to do is just buzz these ends off. Right, so before I sand everything, I want to just sort of, the fronts of these, I just want to put a slight chamfer on, so when you go in, you're not catching your hand. So using this sort of scrap piece of wood here, just to dial in what sort I want. And that there will be perfect. I don't need to do any more than that. Just a slight chamfer there. So as you can see there, that's how they're all going to fit in there, but in the cabinet, they're two spares I've just cut because obviously I've got other bits and pieces coming and I want room for them when they do come. I'm just taking a chance. I've drilled 10mm holes there, but I can re-go into that if I want. but these are the router bit more bits. So what my plan is here now is fit these in, just putting a simple screw on either side just to hold them in, no glue or anything. I might plug it, I might not, I probably will plug them. So I'll mark the line all the way up to give me sort of, to keep me, you know, screws and plug holes in the right orientation. That blocks in there, like that. And I'm just gonna simply I'll work my way up this side first, and then as I close it up I can work my way in from the other side. So what I want to do is just go in and pin a few areas. Next step, what I'm going to do, I'm going to plug these holes. This one's a bit out of sync at the bottom here, because when I went in there it confronted with a screw that went in from the underneath. My mistake. So I'm just going to simply run the plug round the screw, round the glue, round the plug, pop it in, and I'll do that to every hole I've done, and then I'll get to trimming them, sanding them, and then this cabinet shouldn't be long actually finished. Right, I'm just going to quickly buzz all these ends off. Make sure everything is dust free. Just spend a couple of minutes doing that, making sure you get all the dust off. I have wiped over it with a rag, and now I'm just going to go over it with a blower like you've just seen me doing. Just make sure before you put any finish on it whatsoever. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run this piece of wood through, because I'm going to mount it to a wall, so it's going to be like on a French cleat, bit of scrap wood. So I'm just going to make a quick French cleat and a bottom bit because it's getting onto the wall. So that's the back of the French cleat thing done, which will fit onto the back of this cabinet with a strip at the bottom to keep it nice and level. Nice little tip for you, some of you don't know about, a lot of you probably do, is the sharp bit of your French cleat. Just knock it over a little bit, because when you put it together, if there's any dust build up, you're creating a little bit of a gap and it'll fit better as well. Nothing major or big, just that, and that'll do. Just screw that on now. Oh. I've got my finger on the wrong setting. Yeah. Right, so I've got it wall mounted now, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the outside of it, because the inside it's got like router bits, that kind of thing, so I don't want to get any sort of oils or anything onto the shafts of the router bits, that kind of thing, because when they're in drills and in routers, whether that's right or the wrong thing, I don't know. So it's just the outside I'm going to finish, and I'm just going to use clear lacquer, acrylic lacquer. I think it's the stuff that they use to finish over car paintwork, that kind of thing. But it does the job, I've used it before. And make sure with this stuff, you've got the proper mask and you're well ventilated. Please, guys, because it is sort of nasty stuff, this. Always read the label, make sure you're safe. So I'm just going to give this a couple of coats of this clear lacquer. Job done. Right guys, that's the finished cabinet. As you all know, it was an existing cabinet I made about 6 months ago, but I've refitted the inside to take some cutter bits. I just refinished the outside, give it a sand over, and I've had to go down the side there, obviously, to get little shelves in. Somebody made a good point of why didn't I just plug it if I didn't want to, you know, put dowels in instead of screws and then plug it, which was a good point really. I should have thought about that. And then inside, I'll just show you. I've got space now for all me like cutters and router bits. I've got them all to hand now out here. These are all swap and change. These are all, the yellow ones here are all from Router Bit Malls. I will be giving them a try out. I just want to say thank you to Router Bit Malls. My Forstner bits down there. I'll be swapping some of these out for like better quality stuff. I've got some countersink bits from Ezark there. I'll be trying them out. But in the comments, guys, let me know what you think. Whether it was worth doing. I think it's worth doing because it just makes my life easier scrabbling about, looking in boxes for stuff all over the place, where everything now, all the cutters are in place where I can get to them. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you on the next build.